I took my sweatshirt off.
Good job, honey. Show some titty, would you? Great. Thank you. Why do you think it took you so long to get a divorce?
Okay, why was I scared to get a divorce? I think because I had this like thing of like in my marriage, I didn't feel like I had in my last marriage, I didn't feel like I was acting from a place of myself a lot of the time in certain decisions.
Right.
And so
You were not acting.
I was not.
You like didn't have enough agency.
I didn't have enough agency.
Understood.
And so I was caught in between this thing of feeling stuck and it's sort of being like a block in terms of wanting to move forward. And I think that's always been a thing with me with like big milestone decisions like that there's like a block there. There's like a part of me that wants to stay like stalled, you know? And so there was that. And then the fact that like and that was also like wearing a mask of a disguise of you're not ready, you know? You need to be like ready. You need to actually be organically ready to get a divorce.
Right.
And
what did you think was
because you were, you know, telling me I needed to do that and I had to do that and our relationship wouldn't have full legitimacy until I did that. You sometimes phrased your desire for that in an ultimatum. Whenever you did that, it felt, I got scared. Oh my God, am I doing this because like I'm doing it from a place of where my life is ready to do this, and am I being true to myself, or am I again in my relationship with you acting from a place of ultimatum and from a place of you telling me?
Okay, but you can't understand why I would want my partner of a significant amount of time to not be married to somebody else, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you were like wrong.
Okay.
I'm talking about where my head was at.
No, okay. We know.
So I was like, so you do know?
Yeah, I just wanted the people to know.
You just want to make me look like a confused person.
No, we're just being honest.
And I also just didn't like, I actually also wasn't placing like a lot of value in legality.
Okay, then you wouldn't have been so emotional when we were signing our marriage license yesterday by that logic. And you were crying a lot. So
I'm saying how I felt
like
back.
I'm
saying how I felt back then. You know, how I felt back then.
Oh, okay. So now the paper matters.
Once I signed
the paper matters now.
Once I signed the divorce, once I was divorced, I did feel a change and I felt freed.
So I was right. So just say that I was right. So just tell everybody I was right.
Why do you tell me why you love Brett?
Oh, because he actually has the best heart in the world. He's the best. He has like the best. And there was like most recently, we had like some stupid fight in New York when I was recording last time. So I was on my phone and I was like doing something in my phone and he felt like I was like zoning out. And then the main thing he said was like, you're like, when you're doing that, you're like a nothing person, something like that. And I was like, I'm a nothing person. I'm nothing. And it was like such a crazy fight. And then he was like, and then when we were making up, he was like, you're everything. And it was just like, it was like so sweet. And he so deeply meant it that was like, I was like, he really does see me as everything. And I see him that way too, you know? There is like something in you that like likes to kind of sit in misery a little bit.
Like when I moved here to LA, my license was suspended.
Yeah.
It took me like 3 years to get my license back. And all it at the end of the day took was me calling the Secretary of State of Illinois and finding out that all I had to do, that I had waited so long to try to get my license back. My license was revoked, was suspended due to a DUI I got in college. That all it took was to call that place. You call the Secretary of State of Illinois' office and then find out that all I had to do was go into the DMV and just be like, hey, get my license reinstated in LA. So, and with that, I took the bus in Los Angeles.
That's
more than
fucking
anybody
insane.
we know. I walked great lengths, like got sunburnt in the LA sun.
I just don't understand that. What is that in you?
Great lengths.
That's not a good trait.
I think that there is a part of me that wants to stay like
suffering,
deadened and stalled.
Do you think that in some deep place you feel like you don't deserve to be happy?
Possibly. Or just I feel comfortable in not feeling. Right. It's familiar. It's that laying on the couch and just watching television when I'm a child for hours on end. Just like in that state of TV death. Just laying on the couch and zoning. Most of the stuff I'm watching I don't even like. The amount of episodes of Small Wonder I watched in my life. I think of Small Wonder right now. I think of that robot girl and that chubby boy.
First of all, I don't know what show you're talking about. I've never seen it and I've never heard of it.
It was about a chubby boy whose best friend was a robot girl. I don't remember even. I should know this with how much I watch, which shows you how off my brain was when it came on. Like Different Strokes. I'll say it. Different Strokes was a terrible
Did your parents let you watch TV for hours on end?
They kind of did.
My parents would never let me do that. They were there's such a my parents are they're like doers. They do all the time because then, like you said, it doesn't allow them to think or feel. So they just kind of like, that's their way of coping with the horrors of their life. Anyway, they can't watch somebody doing nothing and being stagnant. It was like a big forbidden.
But I mean, you wouldn't describe me as a stagnant person.
No, but you do sometimes have the tendency to just be like, I'm going to do it later. It's like I'm going to do it later and then it just doesn't happen.
Right. Whenever I get something done, I feel a real immense freedom. I feel like I can breathe. And then I'm like, whoa, it's amazing how much time I've spent not being able to fully breathe because of this errand.
It's this thing of like, you're so comfortable in this state of chaos. Not comfortable, it's just so familiar. It's your homeostasis. So you find ways to manufacture this chaos for yourself, I think. We all do it. You're not special in that way.
Yeah. Well, other people help a lot of the time too.
That's true.
Do you want to tell us why you love Ari so much?
Why do I love Ari so much? I mean, there's so many answers to that question. I mean, she really is like the greatest person I've ever known. She is the most brilliant. She inspires me as an artist. You know, she's my favorite musical artist. I think she's just like, one of these like incredibly multi-talented people. She's walking talent, you know? And then she's also like, she's the warmest. She's just so inherently good and pure. But she's not boring. You know, she still has her flaws that give all of that purity a lot of spice and a lot of complexity. But the way in which she sees me and the way in which she treats people in general, it's just almost like with the purity of a child, but the intelligence of an old soul. And then she's absolutely gorgeous. She's the most beautiful person I've ever seen. She's like smoking hot, and sexually makes my brain explode. Yeah. It's the actor in us. That's why, like, you know, you're very early to your acting journey. You know, your music journey is fully formed, but your acting journey, but you're a born actor because, like, you do that immediately with people. Like, you can easily just, like, break down a whole character.
Yeah. Well, I love psychoanalyzing people.
Did you not like that I said that you're new in your acting journey?
No, the reason I zoned out for a second was because I heard whistling, and then I got concerned about the dogs, and I went into like a whole scenario about the dogs not being okay.
Should we check on the dogs so we can focus?
I think they're
a little
okay.
bit, but maybe we should check on them, and I'll go check on the dogs, and then you talk while I'm gone, as I check on the dogs about something.
Okay.
So what are you going to talk?
Do you think you guys are going to be okay?
This is how we've always been. So I think, yeah, I think this is just it. This is it. Yeah. You know, he's just really extra annoying these last few months. In his mind, it's like it has to be perfect and it's got to be this fairy tale. It's almost like this very childish iteration of like the perfect marriage. He's like very kind of like teenage girl about it. And there's like this idealism in his mind around it. Whereas I'm a lot more realistic about these things. Here we go.
But what do you mean? Like, there's a lot of stress? Like, I mean, like, I gotta say, like, are you like making decisions like subconsciously to make this more stressful for you this time?
No.
Are you talking about right now or like the long-term idea of like the ideal of our marriage?
No, I'm talking about just like the mechanics of right now, like the not having like a home, like a home that we're renovating. We're not landed anywhere specific. We're traveling to Italy.
We're currently in your parents' house.
We're at my parents' house.
In your childhood, at least your adolescent home.
Not my adolescent home. My parents built this home like just before I moved out.
Oh, okay. So you never really lived here.
No.
I should know that. I did know that. Yeah, I mean, you know, we could have. I mean, the thing is that you take on a lot of things too.
I take them on because they have to get done and you never do them.
But you don't let me do them.
You don't know how to do anything.
But I am smart. This is the thing. You can't like.
Are the dogs okay?
Yeah, I mean, your dad did give them treats.
What do you give them?
The fish skin.
He keeps giving them those fish skins. I keep seeing the bag open. It's okay. I've not been giving them their fish oil, so that's fine.
Why?
Because I had a suspicion he was giving them the fish skins. At least he's giving them the fish skins and not like cookies.
Why isn't he listening to us, though, in terms of treats? We said no treats. Why isn't he listening to that?
I know what I'm going to do.
Do we need to bring him in here and interview him of why he won't listen to the treat rule?
Should we? Do you want to?
I'm not being a princess here. I'm doing the same thing that you're doing. When I start to like get like stressed out about things and then you're like, can we just
Can I just tell you right now, when you started talking, I got so tired and my therapist told me to look out for that. That's like me disassociating. So when you started talking that way, I felt myself shut down. So I just want right now. I don't know what it was about your voice, but I was shutting down everything and it was powering off. So I just had to make that.
You are not taking care of yourself.
I really need to get a massage or take a bath, I think.
Yeah.
Will you do the laundry today, please? For
yes, I'm
God's
going to do
sakes.
the laundry. This is what I'm saying is that you could have just chilled while they cleaned too. If your 67-year-old father wants to clean immediately after this thing, that's his choice if he can't handle it.
Brett, that's just, I'm sorry, that's not at all how, like, it's just not a thing. My parents were I was raised differently. There's just no way that I could sit and watch my fucking older parents cleaning up while I sit down and sip a fucking flute of champagne. That's just not, maybe your mother raised you that way, but.
Would your parents have gotten mad at you had you not helped?
I mean, they'd be like, hey, something wrong with this picture? That's what my mother would say, which is what she would say when I wouldn't help her growing up as a child.
But this is a specific, I'm not talking about like after dinner. I'm talking about this specific day. When we ate here the other night, did I not help clean up? Your father's got your father's got a system of doing the dishes that he likes to do, that he
you and your sister will sit and watch your older mother literally slave over you guys, and you guys just sit there.
When do I let my mother do that?
When we were in Chicago, she was in her kitchen doing the dishes, cleaning up after your niece, your sister.
And me?
I don't know about us.
If my mother wants to be a slave to my sister, that's my mother's choice.
Right, that's right. She was only cleaning up after them.
And then when she was at our place, yeah, I let her do the dishes because we were buying all the food. We were doing all of this stuff. We were, she wanted to do it.
But she's like your older mother.
Yeah, but she wanted to wash the dishes for a change. And we didn't have her do it every time. She did it a couple times. You let her do it. Why'd you let her do it?
I wasn't home when she was doing the dishes.
You absolutely were home when she did the dishes. Yes, you were. You were sitting right on the couch.
No, I
on the
wasn't.
chair.
What are you talking about?
What
are you talking?
You were.
When?
Well, I don't remember the day.
There was no time where your mom was doing dishes and I was sitting on the sofa.
And then she was like, I'm going to clean these dishes. I got to do it right. There's a thing when like certain parents get older too. They're like, I know. See? It's like their lifeline that they can clean dishes in the best way anybody
I gotta say, your mom
dishes.
can fucking load a dishwasher like I've never seen. I love it. I'm so horny for the way she loads the dishwasher.
She took great pride in that, and I noticed that. It was not her slaving away.
Great.
It was her giving something to herself that kept her from chewing her tongue on the couch. Like, everything is falling apart.
There's nothing in this world that makes me want to slip my wrists more than your mom chewing on her tongue.
My mother chews.
It's
and she
a display.
claims that she's relaxing.
It's a true display of madness right before your eyes. It's like this. And you can hear it. You can hear it. If you're quiet enough, you can hear it.
And I'll tell you.
Everyone be quiet. I'm going to do it right now. Okay, this is what it sounds like. Can you hear that? It's the worst thing ever. And it makes me want to die. What are you doing? Do you
I
smell
touched
your
the
fingers?
treat. I touched the treat.
Oh,
and the
okay.
treat is like pure
At
fish
least you didn't like
bliss.
stick your fingers in your asshole and smell that.
No.
What does it smell like? Pussy.
No. I've never smelled a vagina that smelled like hardcore fish. That is a thing that was made up by a misogynist. I've smelled stanky pussy. Not yours ever. Yours has never stank.
Thanks.
Has my dick ever stank?
No, sometimes it's like musky and sweaty down there, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's like a little like, oh yeah.
Sweaty.
He took care of business today.
Yeah, long day.
And this is the
Smells
remnants.
like a long day.
This is the remnants.
Long day.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
make it longer. My fear, my fear around our... See, watching you do it, it's such the opposite of you that it's just silly and funny to me. Whereas me, it's like you, because I could never see you doing it. But with me, it's like... you can picture that could become me.
Like you sitting in a corner staring at a wall.
I'm gonna work out later so I can wash my hair. But like, yeah, I'll do this thing that when I was a child I would call beeping my teenies, which I don't know why I called it that.
Beeping
That
your
feels like I
teenies.
was like molested by like a dirty uncle. And then
It's
he
time to
like,
beep
well,
your
he was like,
teenies.
gotta beep your teenies. And I like blocked out the molestation, completely repressed it, and then, but picked that phrase up for
Beeping my
doing this
teenies.
hair ritual that
Oh, are you doing
both
it? It's like
gives
so
me-
triggering.
both gives me anxiety and relieves my anxiety at the same time.
It makes me fucking crazy.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
I
soft
hate
and
it
the nice
because that's
curl.
not, you're doing it in like a fun way right now, but even now, stop. He does
once
this.
saw-
He does this. He's just gone. He's gone in another world doing that. And I
was once,
want to put him, I want to
This is
roll him
like-
in a chair into a room and close the door.
This is the hell of like high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, it's still a debate of whether like children should just get homeschooled and it would be better, you know, because of all the shit that you need. But I remember being in like health class and like, I felt like this happened in the same class period where like this health guy who wasn't the normal health teacher, but like was the visiting health teacher, told us that he wouldn't want to be in a picnic with a gay person for
What?
fear of mosquitoes passing AIDS.
What?
Yeah. That was sad. I
What?
don't remember his name. But even in high school,
Oh my God, that's horrifying.
and, you know, I wasn't like, it was still not like an incredibly progressive time where like a high school student in like a, you know, in an urban liberal society would not like, you'd just be like, oh, weird. That's kind of a strange thing. Is that true? Whereas today, if you were at
Jesus.
the high school where I grew up, you'd probably like report that guy and like he'd be fired, as he should be, because that's like completely insane.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and so like that guy said that, and then we watched like a video about like a guy in a mental institution, and he like was twirling his hair like this.
There you go.
I can't do it because I'm bald, if you didn't notice. But and then like he had like a stalk, and I remember watching that film and just being like,
That's me.
Oh my God, that's me. Is that going to happen to me? Because the jury was still out then. I mean, the jury's always a little out on whether or not I wind up in a mental institution.
Oh God.
But, well, you
My
said
mom
it
said
yourself. That's
something
your fear of
so-
me.
My mom said something so fucked up yesterday. She said that she has a friend.
I thought you were going to say your mom was like, are you worried that your husband is going to,
Early days, she was
Wind up in a
worried
mental
about
ins-
us having kids.
because of my grandfather?
I think so.
That's why you can't tell parents anything, really. Nothing
My
should
mom-
be told to them.
My mom, after Brett told the story about his grandfather being in a mental institution, she was like, I'm really worried about you procreating with him. You know, Orthodox Jews, they don't allow their children to marry anybody with a history of mental illness. I was like, well, we're not Orthodox Jews, so let's see how this goes.
And there's plenty of history of mental illness in your family, not to that
100%.
degree. But
No,
like,
everybody
you
in
know.
my family likes to pretend there's no mental illness when, there's no shortage.
Yeah.
No shortage.
And we're going to, do IVF and stuff and make sure.
We don't use either of our genes. We're going to look for we're going to look for a nice Irish, German.
Give me that Tom Brady cum.
We want it white.
Nice white child. Oh, white baby. Thank you, Hashem, Jewish God, for giving us this perfect white child. Please enjoy his perfect foreskin, which we in a way feel guilty for slicing off, because we know that if we left our perfectly white baby uncircumcised, there would be no dick cheese under this foreskin. No, it would be dick cheese free, the perfect Aryan penis.
Great.
Is that cool?
Is that like,
Thanks for watching or listening to Neurotica. Don't forget to share it with your friends. That is, if you have friends. And if you don't, pretend you have friends and share it with your pretend friends.
Good.